Your business needs can change, but can your van racking change to suit your business? In this video, we're going to show you how we're going to modify this racking to suit changing business needs. Welcome to Inside Whitebox. Hey everyone, we are back in the workshop after a wonderful Christmas break and we have this van in. Would you believe this racking in here is over 10 years old? We fitted this a couple of years ago. This is the third van it's been in, so it really shows how well this racking can stand up. And as you can see, it's still looking fresh, even though it's been well used, but also well looked after. And as a Locksmith van, it carries an awful lot of weight, and it's just stood the test of time. Now, today, what we're going to be doing with this one, the customer's requirements have changed for how they're working. They're doing more automotive locksmithing. So there's a couple of things, or there's three things that we're going to do to this van today. Let's have a quick look inside. So the first thing we're going to do to this side unit is mirror what we've got up here. So we're going to take out this cupboard and we're going to add in 4 of these slide out trays. Okay, so that's going to go in there, that space. We're going to be changing this into a bench area, so we're going to have an L-shaped bench over the top of the bulkhead unit. It's going to come across here, so we've got to remove 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shelves, actually 6 shelves. We're going to put an upright in here, which you'll see on the plans, and we're going to add a bench in, and then we're going to have a whole stack of multi-slides as well, so they can put all their chips, components, fobs in there. It's just changing the way it operates, making it better for them. It just shows the flexibility of racking systems, that you're not going to have to gut it and throw it away like you would have to with some other systems and wood. So we're going to get the boys to crack on and start making the changes.
We're going to be putting in an L-shaped worktop and cutting out a big chunk of this part of the racking. In order to do that, I'm going to need to remove this vise and this grinder so that we can mount the new worktop, and then I'll refit these afterwards.
So while the boys are busy in the van making the mods to the racking, I've just been re-looking over the designs, making sure we've got it right. We've already had to make a few tweaks because we didn't see this van before it came in. Now the problem was for me when the customer came to us was that this racking is over 10 years old. It's based on the older original Sortimo system and we didn't have any drawings. So from pictures they sent me and some measurements, I've redrawn it onto the system using the modern day GL4 racking system. There's some changes in colour and there's some slight changes in spec, but generally, modularly, it's very much the same. Now, as you see from the drawings, I haven't completely drawn in the whole racking system. There was no point, but I just needed to get the spacings. So this has really shown the flexibility of the system, even though technically their system is obsolete now, it still exists in its modern form. So yeah, it's caused some issues. But a lot of that was taken out at the design stage, which means when the van comes in, we're pretty much as close to getting it right as possible. Like I said, we've just had to make a few small tweaks with the customer's approval, but other than that, they're getting what they want. So as you can see here, we've got the near side racking system. Now, I haven't drawn in anything up top, there wasn't any need. This is where the cupboard sat. Ant's now removed that and we've put in these tee boxes. Now, because of a slight difference between the old and the new, we've drawn in 4 of these tee boxes and actually we've only been able to get in 3 of those. But what we've done is we've put one of the older shelves underneath to maximise the space on that. But yeah, this is the bit we had to design in order to make sure things fit, and it's looking like now with that slight design tweak, that's working. On the bulkhead unit, this is the same as what it is in the drawing. There's no design changes to that. But the major change to this racking is here we had the long component tray all the way along the top. and we had some shelves going across here. So what we've done in this instance, we've now created this into a worktop. So you can see the worktops here, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tee boxes. This is going to be for the lot of smaller components, and then we've got 3 shelving units here. The difference between this drawing and the reality of the finished job is we're going to be cutting in a worktop that's going to take up this entire area here. So Matt's going to be bringing the worktop up to this sidewall, so this little gap in the corner won't exist, so you're not going to lose stuff over, and then the new key machines can go on there. So you can really see how that's changed that from a shelving system and a bench to a full bench system. One of the main reasons they wanted to do this is because they're getting into more auto locksmithing. They've got a new key cutting and programming machine going in. They just didn't have the worktop space to be able to do that. They also needed to keep a lot more of the smaller components, hence we put in a load more of the tee boxes now, so they can put key fobs, etc. in there. Yeah, it was a bit of fun for me. A few phone calls with the customer, a few bit of measuring, but I think we've got a really good system that's going to work for them. The van's in here for one day, it's out working all the time, so it's minimum time off the road from them, because that was done at the design stage, the stuff was ordered in. This will be back out on the road working tomorrow. As part of this modification, we've got to move this racking back into order to incorporate the new bench. Now, I've just been looking at the brackets. Luckily for us, with this van, because the beams, the horizontal beams are in line, it means that all our brackets are just going to line up. If we move that back about 25 centimetres, 250 mil, we know all these brackets are going to be along the same beam. But we also noticed as well, when we first fitted this a couple of years ago, there's some double brackets here, a single one up here, another set of double brackets and another set of double brackets. Now, we did that for good reason. It's got more brackets than you would normally have. This has got a lot of drawers carrying weight up high. The metal on these vans is getting thinner and thinner, and if you don't put enough brackets in, actually it starts to fracture the metal, and you can see it start to spider out. I've just looked through every single bracket on this van and nothing has started to fracture, so that's why it's so important for us to put those extra brackets on. Normally you wouldn't need them, but if we're ever doing MOD, fire services, locksmiths, anyone that's carrying weight up high, especially with the emergency services, they're not only carrying weight, but they could be also driving at a high speed. It's really important that we put those extra brackets in. So I'm really pleased to see, after I think this has been in here 2 or 3 years, we haven't had any failures in our brackets and any failures in the wall of the van. So, yeah, I mean, that was good, but that might be out of it. You just pulled it out, didn't you? Oh. That ain't going anywhere. So that's it, everything is in the van, all the changes are made. Let's have a quick look to see what we've done. So over on this side, you remember there was a cupboard. We've taken it out and we've managed to get 3 of these tee boxes in there. This is great for all the smaller components. So there's 3 there. Over on this side, we've managed to get another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tee boxes in there. They're all on multi-slides as well. You remember before there was some shelves going all the way across. We've moved this racking backwards, and there's also 3 shelves in here as well. Not only that, we've now created a full worktop on here with aluminium edging and some backstop, so nothing's going to roll over the back. This gives them space for their new key cutting machine. So it's created a completely different workspace. So now we've got a complete worktop, and then later on we're going to come back and put additional lighting in here so they can work in all weathers at all times of the day. Challenges for this job have been not having the van here when we were first creating the redesign for it, and also we're using a 10-year-old system which is technically obsolete and trying to integrate some of the new racking systems into it. So as you can see from the passenger side racking, we originally planned to have 4 T-boxes in there. Actually, in reality, when we came to do it, there wasn't the space, so we've had to put 3 in there to fill the gap. Some of the other challenges was actually moving the racking on the driver's side backwards to create a space at the front so the shelves were accessible. So the whole unit has had to come out, be moved backwards, and then we've created that L-shaped bench on top. So Matt's had to kind of bring that in and out to make sure that's been cut really well, fit perfectly. There was obviously the rebound of the brackets because the racking moved, and because of the change of height behind the bulkhead, we've had to bring that down and change the bracket positions there too. So I'm pretty confident now that's fitted well, secure, sturdy. There's a lot of weight in there, but I know that's going to stand up for another 3 or 4 years easily until they decide to change the van and put it into a next one. I think anyone looking to do their own racking, whether that's in wood or through buying a metal racking system, is try and think ahead. Some of the tools that you have now may not be the tools you need in 3 or 4 years. A lot of our businesses change and they morph and we react to what people are doing. So, for example, in the electrician's world, a lot more people are doing EV chargers. That might mean they have to carry different items in the van. So it's nice to have a flexible system like this that's now over 10 years old that the customer had to completely scrap, and it can be changed to fit their new needs.